Oh, hey guys, just a minute. Oh, hey guys, welcome to Robo Circuits. So, in this video, we are going to talk about home automation system using mesh networking. So, first question which comes in our mind is what is a home automation system? Home automation. It is made of two words, home and automation. Home refers to as our house and automation refers to as automatic. So that means home automation means making things at our home smart, like making the light smart, making the fan smart, making the washing machine, the fridge smart, so that they could work on their own with minimum physical interference. New technologies are being developed for the home automation systems, and creators such as us are making home automation safer, better, and faster day by day. So today I am going to talk about a new concept in field of home automation. That concept is quite old, but in the field of home automation it is quite new. I am going to talk about mesh networking. If you haven't seen one of my previous videos on mesh networking, you should first check out that because I have explained most of the things about mesh networking. In this video, I am going to just take a look at the applications of mesh networking in home automation systems. So without wasting much time, let's get started. For mesh networking, we need at least two devices. One device which acts as a master device and the other device which acts as a slave device. Mesh networking can handle a lot of devices, but today we are going to take only two devices. For the central device, I am taking an ESP32 board. For this project, ESP32 will act as a central device. ESP32 is quite a fast device. It has more memory and also works on dual core. So that means it can handle a lot of data. So that's why we are making it a central device. And the other device which we are taking is based on ESP8266. This is a ESP8266 board. Then we have a custom made PCB which has 4 relays on it and an integrated power supply. So we will talk about this board later in this video. So the basic concept is the ESP32 will act as a master device and the ESP8266 will act as a slave device. We are going to make a mesh networking between both of them. Then we will install touch switches on the ESP8266. Whenever we will touch a switch, the ESP8266 will give notification to the ESP32. Then the ESP32 will send again a message to turn on relay 1. Then we will touch the touch switch 2. Then it will give message to the ESP32 and the ESP32 will send a command to the ESP8266 to turn on relay 2. So that will be our basic concept. So first of all, we will see the circuit diagram of this board and how the touch switches will work with it. Then after that, we will see how the PCB for this is made. And finally, we will see the code which we have to burn on both of the ESP32 as well as the ESP8266 in order to work. I designed PCB for this project using the Altium Designer, which is an industrial level electronic design automation software. I designed the PCB for this. So here is the PCB design which I designed. So here is the PCB which I designed for it. This PCB design was quite interesting because in this PCB project I used some of the SMD components as well as the THT ones. Like here you can see the relays, the node MCU and the power supply are the THT ones, while the capacitors, the resistors, and the LEDs are the SMD ones. Designing with Altium was quite a great experience. If you also want to use the Altium Designer software, I am giving a link in the description from where you can try it for 1 month free. This is how this PCB looks in 3D. Here you can see we have the Node MCU board, our 4 relays, connectors for the AC in and the connectors for the device out. And here we have the SMD components installed on it, like our capacitors and our resistance. On this side we have the connectors for our touch switches, and you can see from the back I have gave some different cuts on the relay side so that the AC interference will be minimum. So this is our design. Let's order these PCBs. Here is the PCB. As you can see it is quite fine. We have all the cuts for our relays as well as our power supply. On the back side you can see the PCB looks great. For the PCB we need the components. Most of the SMD components I used are 0603 size, so bought a lot of them. So here are the components which I ordered for this PCB. Here we have 470 ohm resistance. We have our transistors, as you can see here. These are the transistors. Then the resistance and everything else. And on the other hand, I got these TPP223 capacitive touch sensors. In order to install them on the board, I bought these cables. These are 2.0 mm connectors, 3 connectors for 3 wires on the TPP223, and we have the another connector which will go on the PCB. This will go on the PCB and this will connect to it, and on the other hand it will get soldered on right here. In order to solder all the SMD components, we need a really thin soldering iron. So here it is. I bought a really thin soldering iron. As you can see, its tip is quite thin. Let me compare it with our holes on the PCB. Like you can see, these are the holes and you can see how thin it is. If I show you on the pads, this is that much thin. And on the other hand, in order to pick up the components, we need really thin tweezers. This is the one I already had, but this is quite thick. As you can see, this one is quite thick. It was not able to hold the components securely. So I bought a new one, which is this one. You can see how thin it is. It is that much thin. You will need a really thin tweezers in order to pick up the components and place them on the PCB. Let's solder it. And like that, the soldering is done. Now let's take a look at the board. Here we have all our components, then our power supply, our relays, our Node MCU, and the connectors for our touch switches, which are right here. I used this connector. This is a removable screw connector. The best thing about this connector, it can be removed. You can screw the wires right here and then just plug it in, just like that. It could be really easy to install it in the switchboard. Then that means our PCB has been complete, soldering has been done. Now I have uploaded the program to both our ESP8266 board as well as our ESP32. Let's connect the ESP32 first. So the ESP has been working, and now we can see on the serial monitor that the mesh networking has been started. Now here we have our board and we have 4 touch switches installed on it. Let us try pressing any one of the switch. I am putting the mic right where the relays are so that you can hear them properly. Okay. So now you can see the relays are working. Now let's see on the serial monitor what happens. Whenever I pressed any button, the message is being sent to the ESP32. As you can see, now I am going to press one of the buttons. You can see the message comes on 1 true. I am again pressing the same button. Now you can see on 1 false. Now I am going to press the second one on to false. Now I am again doing the same button on to true. So that's how, that means whenever we are pressing any button on our board, the data is being sent to the ESP32, which is right here. So let's try something else. Now what we will do is we will send our data from ESP32 to the ESP8266 and we will see if the relay works. I am going to put the mic on the relay so that you can listen to the voice that it is working. I am just putting the mic. The ESP32 can send data to the slave device, which is our ESP8266 device. On the same node, whenever any touch switch is pressed, relay works instantly, but our message is being sent to the ESP32 on the same node. So this means if we connect a lot of ESP8266 devices in our home and one ESP32, which is the central unit, we can monitor all the devices at the same time using the ESP32 board. So whenever any switch will be pressed in our home, we will get our data on the ESP32. On that way, we can save the whole logs when or for how much long any switch is pressed, so that we can calculate the power consumption of our home. So that's how it is done. On the other node, we can use the ESP32 to control all the devices by sending different messages to each of the node, like I have done now.
Hope you learned a lot from this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you love this video, then do subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.